Broke at 25. Here's exactly what I'd do differently. At 25, I hit what many would call rock bottom. My bank account hovered just above zero. I had no savings, debt was mounting, and anxiety about the future was a constant companion. Like many people, I thought my 20s were for figuring things out. But the truth is, the choices I made during those years had long-lasting effects on my financial stability, mental health, and sense of self-worth. Looking back now, I realized that being broke at 25 wasn't just about money. It was about mindset, habits, and direction. If I had the chance to do it all over again, here's exactly what I would do differently. 1. Start budgeting with intention. In my early 20s, I treated budgeting like a chore for old people or financial nerds. I'd track expenses occasionally, but I never stuck to a plan. That inconsistency led to impulse spending and no control over where my money went. If I could go back, I'd start using a simple budgeting method, like the 50/30/20 rule. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings/debt. From the moment I got my first paycheck, I treat budgeting like a non-negotiable life skill, just like driving or cooking. Having a clear plan each month would have saved me thousands of dollars and endless stress. 2. Say no to lifestyle inflation. Every time I earned more money, I spent more. A raise meant a better phone, more expensive clothes, or more nights out. I was trapped in the illusion that I needed to treat myself for working hard. But those little luxuries snowballed into big liabilities, and I had nothing to show for it. If I could rewind time, I'd keep my lifestyle modest even as my income grew. I'd bank the difference instead of blowing it. That extra cash could have been used to build an emergency fund, invest early, or pay off debt. 3. Learn about money early. In school, no one teaches you about credit scores, compound interest, or the dangers of high-interest loans. I had to learn the hard way after maxing out credit cards and getting hit with overdraft fees. If I had just spent a few hours reading books or watching videos on personal finance, I would have avoided many of those pitfalls. What I'd do differently? I'd start educating myself about money at 18, or even sooner. Books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Millionaire Next Door, or I Will Teach You to Be Rich would have changed my mindset entirely. Financial literacy should have been my priority, not an afterthought. 4. Avoid bad debt like the plague. Student loans, credit cards, buy now, pay later schemes. I fell into all of them thinking I was just borrowing from future me. But future me had bills to pay, and debt just made life harder. Instead of borrowing for things I couldn't afford, I should have learned patience and discipline. If I could go back, I'd live below my means, avoid borrowing for anything that didn't appreciate, and pay off existing debt aggressively. I'd ditch the idea that a credit card is free money. It's not. It's a trap with a smile. 5. Invest, even just a little. At 25, the idea of investing felt distant. I thought you needed thousands of dollars and a stockbroker. But the truth is, time is your biggest asset when it comes to investing. If I had started with just $50 a month in a basic index fund, I would have set myself up for long-term growth and financial freedom. If I could do it again, I'd open a retirement account or brokerage account as soon as possible. I'd automate contributions and let compound interest do its magic. Even a small amount invested early beats a large amount invested later. 6. Stop caring about impressing others. A lot of my financial decisions were driven by ego. I wanted to look successful even when I was broke. I bought clothes I couldn't afford, went out when I should have stayed in, and tried to keep up with people who were just as lost as I was. The truth is, no one cares as much as you think they do. If I had focused more on building wealth than appearing wealthy, I'd be in a much better position today. What I'd do differently? Live for my own goals, not for Instagram. 7. Start a side hustle early. Instead of binge-watching Netflix every weekend, I wish I had used that time to build something. Freelancing, tutoring, flipping items, or learning a high-income skill. I underestimated how much of an impact an extra few $100s a month could have made. If I could go back, I'd explore different income streams early. Even if I failed, the skills I'd learn, marketing, communication, discipline, would pay off in the long run. Side hustles aren't just about money. They're about freedom and future-proofing your life. 8. Surround myself with better influences. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That quote hit me hard when I realized many of my friends were in the same financial mess, or worse. No one was pushing each other to be better, save more, or dream bigger. If I had a second chance, I'd seek out mentors, listen to podcasts by financially savvy people, and spend time with those who had goals. Being in the right environment would have accelerated my growth more than any online course or book. 9. Stop waiting for the perfect time. One of my biggest mistakes was thinking I had time. I'd say, I'll save next month, or I'll start investing when I make more. But time passed, and nothing changed. The perfect time never came. If I could go back, I'd start where I was, with what I had. Whether that meant saving $10 a week or taking a class after work, I'd take action. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. 10. Prioritize mental health and self-worth. Being broke wasn't just a financial issue. It made me feel like a failure. I was constantly anxious, ashamed, and stuck in a loop of self-doubt. I didn't realize that my self-worth isn't tied to my net worth. If I had to do it all again, I'd get therapy, journal, meditate, or talk to someone sooner. I'd remind myself that setbacks are temporary, but how you respond defines your future. Taking care of my mind would have made everything else easier. Final thoughts. Being broke at 25 doesn't mean your life is over, but it's a wake-up call, a chance to reset, reevaluate, and rebuild. If I could sit down with my 25-year-old self, I wouldn't scold them. I'd offer guidance, encouragement, and a plan. The truth is, many of us don't get it right the first time, but the earlier you start making intentional choices, the sooner you escape the cycle of financial struggle. Your 20s can be a foundation for wealth, freedom, and fulfillment, but only if you take ownership today. So, if you're broke at 25, take a breath, then take control. You've got time, but not forever. Let me know in the comments section below. What do you think of our video? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.